A strong first quarter start for the markets, leading to a major uptick in household wealth. Robert Frank joins us now. More, I hope it's not increasing inequality.
It's not.
Okay,
it's
good.
not, and I will explain why. It's good
Nobody
news.
needs that.
Good news all around, Joe. Record highs for stocks created record wealth for households. Household wealth reached an all-time high of $156 trillion at the end of 2023. That was mainly thanks to that end-of-year stock rally. Stocks added over $4 trillion in wealth for Americans in the fourth quarter. Most of the gains, like stocks, are going to the top. The wealthiest 10% of Americans own 87% of all stocks. The top 1% own about half. Yet since 2020, the stock market, combined with rising real estate values, have created the fastest wealth boom for just about everyone in recent history. The wealth of the middle 50 to 90%, so that's really the middle class, has increased by 45% over the past 3 years. They have added $14 trillion in wealth, about half of that coming from real estate values. Those at the top have done a little bit better, with the top 1% seeing their wealth increase by 49% since 2020. Most of their gains coming from stocks, with equities adding about $8 trillion in wealth. Now, economists say this wealth effect from stocks, where your investment gains increase consumer confidence, in what is one reason this economy and spending continues to be so strong.
All right. I'm not going to look at you in any way looking for something that it's all good. I'm not going to try to find something.
The other good
there
thing,
are people that could. I guarantee you there are.
The other good thing
could.
about this is that we have a record number of Americans invested in the stock market. 58% of Americans now own stocks. 20% own individually direct held stocks. Both of those are at all-time records. So not only do we have record wealth from stocks, but a record number of Americans who are participated in the stock market.
Do you think that our debt problems and our deficit issues are so serious that maybe we can afford to not get quite as wealthy if we were to pay down some of this? In other words, should we go to 28% on the corporate tax rate? I don't know whether that necessarily means the market doesn't go up as much, or whether it hurts profits, or whether stock values go down. But let's say maybe it's not as good. Not as much of a tailwind is that a good trade-off?
The connection and the transmission mechanism, I would say, is that if we continue to have another strong year for stocks, we'll have rising capital gains revenue.
That's good.
Which will be good for,
because we were missing that for
we were missing that
year,
really
2022
certainly a bit last year, and if that could come back this year, we got more IPOs, we got more people selling stocks, so we're already seeing a large uptick in what will be larger capital gains revenue. And that's going to be the big decider, not just on the federal level, but also at the state level in California and New York.
I guess I can't help but think of the counter to that, which is what happens if the markets go down.
Absolutely.
Then you have a much bigger portion of the population that feels hurt much more badly.
And also, I do think, Roger Ferguson was just talking about this economy has remained so strong and defied all the expectations for why it should be weaker. And I think this wealth effect is one reason. And that's another reason, Becky, why if we do see a big downturn later this year with stock markets, that could also impact the consumer economy.
Am I less observant, or are those new glasses?
Those are new glasses.
Wow.
Very observant.
Good call.
I feel like I've seen those glasses. Not on the air. But I have.
Not on the air. Yeah.
But I've seen them.
On him?
Yes. In other contexts.
What, are you guys hanging out?
It was a work function. It was a work function.
Saying. I feel like I've seen them before. They're not.
Were you there? No. A work function, like a...
We'll make sure you get an invitation.
Yes.
Next time.
Was it in the mail?
You can turn it down.
The invitation was probably not in the mail, but I don't know.
Was it fun? Was there alcohol?
It was a lot of fun. I don't know if it was.
It was fun.
I think there was alcohol. There might have been.
Frank,
I drink water.
Robert was there. There was caviar, right?
There was no caviar, but it was a pretty high-end situation.
Well, no wonder. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I don't want to go to a place that would invite me. Anyway.